Lake Malawi, southernmost and third largest of the East African Rift Valley lakes of East Africa, lying in a deep trough mainly within Malawi and covers three regions of Tanzania including Mbeya, Njombe and Ruvuma. Lake Nyasa, Nyasa means lake, is located at the southwest of Tanzania. The lake lies in three countries' territory, Tanzania and Malawi. However, it is bordered by three countries, Tanzania, Malawi, and Mozambique. It is the third largest in Africa, after Lake Victoria and Lake Tanganyika, with 550 kilometers length and 75 kilometers width, covering an area of more than 11,400 square kilometers. In some parts, the lake is as deep as 700 meters. The lake lies in the sided walls of mountain ranges, the forested Livingston Mountains and Nyika Plateau, which provide the magnificent view of the lake from far and the landscape for hikers and backpackers. Lake Nyasa is also among the Great Rift Valley's lakes, which shares some of the characteristics with Lake Tanganyika. The lake has a distinctive characteristic, 14 rivers pouring their waters into the lake, and only one river which flows out to the sea, River Shire. The lake also has a lot of names such as Lake of Stars, which is provided by the lovers who trip there and discover it one of the dreamy and romantic destination in Eastern Africa. It is situated between Malawi, Mozambique as well as Tanzania. It has so many things to offer such as numerous opportunities for water sports as well as diving. The lake is enormously rich with diverse fish species and is one of the most appealing lakes that offer unforgettable underwater views. Some parts of the lake offer nice beaches and places to swim. Mbeya, in the northern part of the lake, is considered to be the best beach for people who like to relax swim along the lake shore. In contrast to other lakes, the water of Lake Nyasa is bilharzia-free. There are also caves and interesting waterfalls to see. Other activities include local canoeing ride down the river, hiking on surrounding mountains. Though Lake Nyasa does not receive many tourists, the lake is magnificently attractive and is rich in crocodiles and hippopotamus. For fish lovers, Lake Nyasa is biologically the most diverse lake, containing approximately 30% of world's cichlid species, colorful fish which are easily seen in the lake's clear water. Lake Malawi, also known as Lake Nyasa in Tanzania and Lago Nyasa in Mozambique, Swahili, Ziwa Nyasa, is an African Great Lake and the southernmost lake in the East African Rift System, located between Malawi, Mozambique, and Tanzania. It is the fourth largest freshwater lake in the world by volume, the ninth largest lake in the world by area, and the third largest and second deepest lake in Africa. Lake Malawi is home to more species of fish than any other lake in the world, including at least 700 species of cichlids. The Mozambique portion of the lake was officially declared a reserve by the government of Mozambique on June 10, 2011, while in Malawi a portion of the lake is included in Lake Malawi National Park. Lake Malawi is a meromictic lake, meaning that its water layers do not mix. The permanent stratification of Lake Malawi's water and the oxycanoxic boundary are maintained by moderately small chemical and thermal gradients. Lake Malawi is between 560 kilometers, 350 miles, and 580 kilometers, 360 miles, long and about 75 kilometers, 47 miles, wide at its widest point. The lake has a total surface area of about 29,600 square kilometers, 11,400 square miles. The lake is 706 meters 2,316 feet at its deepest point, located in a major depression in the north-central part. Another smaller depression in the far north reaches a depth of 528 meters 1,732 feet. The southern half of the lake is shallower, less than 400 meters 1,300 feet in the south-central part and less than 200 meters 660 feet in the far south. The lake has shorelines on western Mozambique, eastern Malawi, and southern Tanzania. The largest river flowing into it is the Ruaha River, and there is an outlet at its southern end, the Shire River, a tributary that flows into the Zambezi River in Mozambique. Evaporation accounts for more than 80% of the water loss from the lake, considerably more than the outflowing Shire River. The outflows from Lake Malawi into the Shire River are vital for the economy as the water resources support hydropower, irrigation, and downstream biodiversity. Concerns have been raised over the future climate change impacts of Lake Malawi due to the recent decline in lake levels and the overall drying trend. The climate in the lake region is already experiencing changes, with the temperatures predicted to increase throughout the country. The lake is about 350 kilometers, 220 miles, southeast of Lake Tanganyika, another of the Great Lakes of the East African Rift. The Lake Malawi National Park is located at the southern end of the lake. Malawi is one of the major Rift Valley lakes and an ancient lake. The lake lies in a valley formed by the opening of the East African Rift, where the African tectonic plate is being split into two pieces. This is called a divergent plate tectonics boundary. Malawi has typically been estimated to be 1 to 2 million years old, Maya, but more recent evidence points to a considerably older lake with a basin that started to form about 8.6 Maya and deep water condition first appeared 4.5 Maya. The water levels have varied dramatically over time, ranging from almost 600 meters 2,000 feet below current level to 10 to 20 m, 33 to 66 feet, above. During periods the lake dried out almost completely, leaving only one or two relatively small, highly alkaline and saline lakes in what currently are Malawi's deepest parts. A water chemistry resembling the current conditions only appeared about 60,000 years ago. Major low water periods are estimated to have occurred about 1.6 to 1.0 to 0.57 million years ago, where it might have dried out completely, 420,000 to 250,000 to 110,000 years ago, about 25,000 years ago and 18,000 to 10,700 years ago. During the peak of the low water period between 1390 and 1860 AD, it may have been 120 to 150 m, 390 to 490 feet, below current water levels. The Portuguese trader Candido José de Costa Cardoso was the first European to visit the lake in 1846. David Livingstone reached the lake in 1859, and named it Lake Nyasa. He also referred to it by a pair of nicknames, Lake of Stars and Lake of Storms. The Lake of Stars nickname came after Livingstone observed lights from the lanterns of the fishermen in Malawi on their boats, that resemble, from a distance, stars in the sky. Later, after experiencing the unpredictable and extremely violent gales that sweep through the area, he also referred to it as the Lake of Storms. On August 16, 1914, Lake Malawi was the scene of a brief naval battle during World War I. The British gunboat SS Gwendolyn, commanded by a Captain Rhodes, received orders from the British Empire's High Command to sink, burn, or destroy the German Empire's only gunboat on the lake, the Hermann von Wissmann, commanded by Captain Berndt. Rhodes's crew found the Hermann von Wissmann in a bay near Sfinkhaven, in German East African territorial waters. Gwendolyn disabled the German boat with a single cannon shot from a range of about 1,800 meters, 2,000 yd. This brief conflict was hailed by the Times in England as the British Empire's first naval victory of World War I. Borders. Tanzania, Malawi dispute. The partition of the lake's surface area between Malawi and Tanzania is under dispute. Tanzania claims that the international border runs through the middle of the lake. On the other hand, Malawi claims the whole of the surface of this lake that is not in Mozambique, including the waters that are next to the shoreline of Tanzania. Malawi currently administers these waters. Both sides cite the Heligoland Treaty of 1890 between the United Kingdom and Germany concerning the border. The wrangle in this dispute occurred when the British colonial government, just after they had captured Tanganyika from Germany, placed all of the waters of the lake under a single jurisdiction, that of the territory of Nyasaland, without a separate administration for the Tanganyikan portion of the surface. Later in colonial times, two jurisdictions were established. The dispute came to a head in 1967 when Tanzania officially protested to Malawi, however, nothing was settled. Occasional flare-ups of conflict occurred during the 1990s and in the 21st century. In 2012, Malawi's oil exploration initiative brought the issue to the fore, with Tanzania demanding that exploration cease until the dispute was settled. Malawi, Mozambique border. In 1954, an agreement was signed between the British and the Portuguese making the middle of the lake their boundary with the exception of Chizumulu Island and Likama Island, which were kept by the British and are now part of Malawi. Transport. MV Chauncey Maples began service on the lake in 1901 as the SS Chauncey Maples, a floating clinic and church for the university's mission to Central Africa. She later served as a ferry and is currently being renovated into a mobile clinic at Monkey Bay. The renovation was expected to be complete during the first half of 2014, but was halted in 2017. MV Mpasa entered service in 1935. The ferry MV Ilala entered service in 1951. In recent years she has often been out of service, but when operational she runs between Monkey Bay at the southern end of the lake to Karanga on the northern end, and occasionally to the Iringa region of Tanzania. The ferry MV Mtendera entered service in 1980. By 1982 she was carrying 100,000 passengers each year, but as of 2014 she was out of service. She normally serves the southern part of the lake, but if Ilala was out of service she operated the route to Karanga. The Tanzanian ferry MV Sanja was built in 1988. Her operator was the Tanzania Railway Corporation Marine Division until 1997, when it became the Marine Services Company Limited. Sanja plies weekly between Liulai and Ngata Bay via Itungi and Bomba Bay. The worst lake disaster was the sinking of the MV Vipya in 1946, which resulted in 145 deaths. Wildlife found in and around Lake Malawi or Nyasa includes Nile crocodiles, hippopotamus, monkeys, and a significant population of African fish eagles that feed off fish from the lake. The 25 km solo swim across Lake Malawi between Cape Ngamba and Senga Bay has been accomplished on 5 occasions by 16 swimmers. Thank you for watching this video.